We are hearing from a farmer who estimates he lost his entire crop after a massive fire shot across hundreds of acres of land. And 4 days later, you can still see and smell smoke in some spots around Fire Tower Road and Mount Herman.
And as Maddie Kurth reports, the farmer whose crops were destroyed in last Friday's fire lost not only his timber, but the land where he was raised.
We didn't know what was going to have a house left or what was going to have left.
Since a massive wildfire burned nearly 200 acres of land in Washington Parish, Truett Roberts has been at a loss.
That's a hot. You ever heard nothing? That's what I've been doing, is nothing.
Roberts says his family owns a portion of the scorched field. He watched the fire creep into his field and close to his home.
If those guys on those bulldozers hadn't cut it off, it was coming right to the road, honey. And that way up there where that's my sister's land. If it had got in there, I don't know what would happen.
After containing the fire, the State Forestry Department sent a plane up to survey the damage, taking these aerial photos over the weekend.
And of course, watching for anything that would spark up again. You know, a high wind that would push an ember somewhere or start again.
Roberts says he knew of the man authorities say started the fire. 34-year-old Kenneth Bobuff of Independence was booked early Saturday morning with fire raising, criminal negligence, and violating the statewide burn ban currently in place. Roberts says Bobuff was living in a tent near his barn after his own house burned down.
It was just a barn built to put hay under. That's all it was. But the old house I was raised in, it's been torn down for years, you know.
That barn from Roberts' childhood will need to be torn down too, still smoldering days after the fire.
And you see any area where you do not have irrigation, the crops are markedly affected. And so in this particular situation, when you walk out on the fields, you know, where the cattle are, there's very little grass, very little hay, and it literally cracks under your feet.
The forestry commissioner tells me all of these trees were grown to be harvested for their timber. He estimates them to be about 12 or 15 years old and says it's likely this entire crop is a total loss for the farmer.
I said, you think you ain't got some good neighbors till something like this happens? You find out, honey.
Roberts says he isn't sure if he'll see any restitution, considering Bobuff's own hard times. He's taking it day by day, hoping his other crops can be saved.
I don't know whether they're going to make it or not. That's trees I set out in 98.
Reporting in Washington Parish, Maddie Kurth, Fox 8, Local First.
The entire state of Louisiana and parts of Mississippi are under burn bans until further notice.